Hello, I am going to read to you guys the story on page 248 and it will end on 250. It is called La ciudad y el campo. We are going to compare the differences between living in the city and living on a ranch. So let's get started. La ciudad. Si vas algún día a una ciudad latinoamericana, observarás que en el centro mismo de casi todas hay un casco antiguo. En el centro del casco antiguo se encuentra una gran plaza que muchas veces se llama la Plaza de Armas. En la plaza verás la catedral y algunos edificios gubernamentales que datan de la época colonial. De la plaza salen callecitas pintorescas. Cada ciudad tiene también barrios modernos con grandes rascacielos que tienen oficinas y condominios donde vive la gente de las clases media y alta. En los barrios modernos hay avenidas anchas y paseos bonitos. Hay también calles peatonales donde no se permite entrar el tráfico vehicular. Cada ciudad tiene uno o más parques donde los habitantes disfrutan del aire libre y espacio abierto. Los fines de semana dan un paseo por el parque y se divierten mirando a los mimos. En muchos parques hay un parque de atracciones y a veces un zoológico. Las afueras. Desafortunadamente, en las afueras de casi todas las ciudades verás los barrios bajos. Sus nombres varían de país en país. Ranchos, vías miseria, pueblos jóvenes, etc. No importa el nombre, en todos viven los pobres en chozas o casuchas, sin luz o electricidad, gas ni agua corriente. Para saber una de las razones que tanta gente vive en tales condiciones, iremos al campo. El campo. La vida de muchos campesinos es difícil. Los problemas rurales tienen una larga historia. Desde la época de los españoles había grandes extensiones de tierras llamadas latifundios. Sus dueños o propietarios eran grandes terratenientes ricos y más tarde grandes compañías de Estados Unidos y Europa. Debido a reformas agrarias, estos latifundios han sido divididos en parcelas pequeñas y distribuidas entre los campesinos pobres que antes las tenían que trabajar para los terratenientes. Pero los campesinos no tienen suficiente dinero para comprar lo que necesitan para labrar la tierra de una manera productiva. Así toman la decisión de salir para la ciudad en busca de una vida mejor y añaden al problema de la sobrepoblación que ya existe en las ciudades latinoamericanas. Sí hay problemas, pero hay que señalar que al viajar por Latinoamérica verás paisajes de una belleza increíble, montañas, volcanes, jardines, estancias o ranchos, todo. So they have started out by explaining to you guys just what life would be like in the city. They've explained to you there's lots of skyscrapers, there's lots of wide streets. They have said there's a lot of government type of buildings, and there's always a plaza. There's always kind of like a center of town, how we down here in the Denver area, we've got downtown Denver with a big Capitol building, lots of government buildings around. That's what they are calling the plaza. Then they go to the outskirts. So you've got the city, then you've got some small suburbs right outside of that. And that's what they call las afueras. And they've told you that it's a lot more of the rich and the middle class that lives in the city. And then when you go to las afueras, it's a lot more lower income people. They were saying a couple sentences in that that's usually where there's not a lot of running water, there's not electricity, no gas. The home and the lifestyles are very kind of poor. And then it goes on to talk about on 250 about El Campo. And it says this is where the living is even harder, and that actually there's not really a lot of accessible resources to the ranchers and to the people that live in the ranch to be able to provide the possible resources to create a good living out there. So yes, they've got all this extra land, but they don't have the proper resources to create good ample farms for fruits and vegetables and to make a good living. So life is hard out there. But they do end by saying that despite the problems of life on the ranch, that Latin American countries have beautiful scenery. They've got the mountains, they've got volcanoes, beautiful gardens, wonderful like ranch homes. Latin America is really a beautiful, beautiful country, and they do emphasize that. So hopefully that was helpful and you guys were able to understand it a little bit better. I would like for you guys to go ahead and do the comprendes questions. I want you guys to do the activity A and C. Do not do B. For A, you are just going to correct the false information. So they're going to give you 4 statements about living in the city, living in el campo. You're going to correct whether it's right or wrong. And then on C, they just would like you to answer those questions. And it's going to be according to the reading, what you guys learned, what you understood. So again, just A and C on 251, write it down, send it off to me so that I can have it all together. And don't forget, Friday is the day that everything is due. Friday night. You have until Friday night to send me all of your work, or you can send it individually per day as you complete it. Okay, hope that was helpful, and let me know if you have any questions. Goodbye.